Since I did Cold Pursuit yesterday, and the leftist media crap is attacking Liam Neeson for something he said and taking it out of context, decided to make today's Pop Talk. Liam Neeson isn't racist, but the media is. The leftist media, and media as a whole, take something out of the context and just decide to spread it. Liam Neeson, in an interview, said that his friend was raped when he was younger, and for a week he was walking around hating black people for it. But then he felt ashamed of himself that he was blaming a whole race of people for something one person did. Now, the media decided they didn't want to bother listening to that last sentence. They wanted to focus on the first sentence because, white man bad. Because, it goes along with their orange man bad thing. Now, I hate Trump just as much as the next person, but the media goes overboard on it. They even lie about shit. It's like his speech thing about how he made 4 million jobs when only 3 million new jobs were made, and 1.4 of them, and the other 1.4 or whatever number it was, were actually just jobs being filled that were previously empty. So those are new jobs to those people. Don't make up shit about him. He does a great job on his own, making himself look like an idiot. You don't need to help him out. But the more the crappy idiots on the news lie about this shit, the more people are going to be thinking, you know what, the news is lying about this, what else are they lying about? It's like during cop shootings. They'll lie, they'll go off the cuff saying how the cop shot the person on purpose when the reality the bullet ricocheted while the cops were being shot at by drug dealers just because, they're wearing a uniform and they don't want to go to jail, and they figured the cops aren't even going to approach these people because there's nothing suspicious about them whatsoever, but they pulled their guns out and started shooting at the cops. Why? Because they were cops. The cops defended themselves. The bullet ricocheted and hit some innocent bystander. No, what would the media say? And what would the dumbasses over on Twitter say? Oh, the cop did it on purpose. He needs to die. Yeah, Twitter needs to be dismantled, disabled, gone forever. It's a place of garbage and garbage people. And the media needs to start being held accountable for spreading their lies. When they take shit out of context, they need to be punished for it. But when even the lefty comedian Trevor Noah can see the truth of the thing, gotta see right here, should be ashamed. But he got the whole clip. The other morons on the news, like ABC, CNN, all these other idiots, they didn't get the whole clip because, they have an agenda to push. Watch the damn clip, do it straight. It's like the dumb thing with the kids. There are news organizations. They couldn't spend 2 hours watching footage. Why? Because, we got them now! No. You watch a damn thing. You look at it. You make sure what you're doing. I hope to God those kids' lawyers sue the shit off of all of them. And at least a couple journalists lose their jobs for it because their freaking stupidity should cost them something. They shouldn't get away scot-free. These journalists do not need to be getting away with this shit anymore. It's like the a-holes over at that anime news thing trying to spread the false crap about the voice actor Vic Mignogna. The girls of his little fan group, they want him to hug them. They want him to kiss them on the cheek for their photos. If you don't want that, speak up before it happens. No, I don't want that. And the people who were saying that did that and they were offended by it, they said they didn't want the photo. They figured, why not? Okay, so if you're uncomfortable with people touching you, why not? But you're thinking of that, but you're in that moment of why not in your head, then tell them beforehand, yeah, but, like even me, I don't like people touching me. when I did have my photos taken with the people at Star Wars Celebration, I would stand a little further away from them, or I would have I'd put my hands behind my back. There are ways to show people that you don't want to be touched. And the best thing about this whole thing about Liam Neeson is that even people are coming out of the woodwork and pointing out to the media how stupid they are. This is going to be a clip from Sky News.
John Barnes, welcome to you. Was this somebody being incredibly candid about an awful moment in their life, or is this beyond the pale?
Well, first of all, I just want you to give me a few minutes, because I believe that Liam Neeson deserves a medal, and I'll tell you why. Liam Neeson, I've listened to the whole transcript. Liam Neeson,
something most media people don't.
About his film Revenge, and he's talking about revenge doesn't do anyone any good. He mentions the fact that being brought up in Northern Ireland, he understands how destructive that can be. He went on to tell a story of a situation whereby a friend of his had been raped. Now, if you listen to everything he's talking about in the moment. And you can't blame Liam Neeson for thinking what he feels, because this is what, and this is a while ago, this is what society has shown him that black people do, Muslims do. This is what society has wrongly shown him. This is what the media have wrongly portrayed to him. So in that moment, he said
and he's got a point. When you go on the news, like even my local news, all the murderers and stuff you see will be, or people are robbing shit, and the news stuff will be black people. I mean, I know not all black people are thieves and that, but that's what the news shows. The news needs to do a better job of showing that, or, realizing that we don't need to see that kind of crap. Just report that the theft was there and the person was stolen. Because, no, not all black people are thieves. Not all white people are racist. Not all, or stupid, or whatever the heck the thing for white people is.
he was going around looking to kill a black person, or a black, and he did that in quotation marks. Now, what he actually went on to say is that he was ashamed and horrified by the way he felt. Yes? He's not ashamed and horrified in wanting to commit the act of revenge. He's ashamed and horrified because that is what he thought about all black people. After a week, he realized he was wrong. That is what he said. I'm ashamed and horrified of the way I felt. Now, depending on how you want to spin this story, now it's about he was going to kill a black person.
We want to ventilate.
That is not what
I really like this John Barnes guy. Seems like an intelligent person. Sorry about that. The funny thing is, those assholes actually haven't done their radio checks all night long. But I think Sky News should hire this guy full time and fire the current guy who's actually doing the interviewing, because during this interview he does show his agenda side.
Pardon?
I say we don't want to spin it. We want to think about it and ventilate it. It's an important subject.
No. It's been spun. It's been spun because if you want to think about what he's actually saying, the context, which is why he then said to the lady, in his voice, I've got a particular set of skills if you don't report this in the way that it is meant. Now we're talking about, and he threatened to kill the woman. What he's actually saying is that he's horrified and ashamed of the way he felt. He went on to say that. That is exactly what he went on to say, which meant that he was ashamed of the way he felt, but you cannot blame him for thinking that, because I said earlier, with the whole Raheem Sterling talking about the influence the media has, you cannot blame people for thinking Muslims, because of Muslim grooming gangs, Jamaican yardie gangs, then look at Muslims and Jamaicans in a negative light. And he's admitting that that is the way he viewed it. So, for this one black person who raped this woman, he then looked at it from the perspective of all black people are racists. Now, what he's actually saying is that this is what I thought, this is what I saw, and I am ashamed and horrified, and after a week, I said to myself, what am I doing? That is the reality behind it. As much as people are now jumping on this bandwagon of how terrible it is, what he's done, he's come out and he's told the truth. Now, the big problem we have is when people are afraid to admit the way they actually feel, everybody's now going to say, oh, if he had said, I have more respect for him now than had he come out and said, I've viewed all black people as equal, I just view everybody as equal. What he said was, for a week, because of the stress I was under when my friend was raped by a black person, and because of what the narrative around black people and Muslims, and this is many years ago, surrounding the perception we have of them, I then wanted to kill every black person because, as far as I'm concerned, as I was taught, black people are racist. He said he was horrified and ashamed for thinking that, but that is not the story we're telling. We now want him to be pilloried. We want to never let him work again. People are now going to be afraid to tell the truth on how they feel. And I always say, we are all...
I would probably guess this was during the race riot things, the stuff that the leftist media is trying to bring back up and trying to push more ever since Obama got office. Because for a long while there, when I was younger, it was, you're not an African American, you're not an Hispanic American, you're not a whatever the fuck, you're a American. You're here now. Doesn't matter where your family came from, you're here now. We all help each other out. Now it's, oh, your ancestry and all that crap. They want to push that garbage and try to separate everybody. But there was horrible race riots back then before Martin Luther King came along. And the civil rights things and everything. Where people were getting beat up just because of the colors. On both sides. And sadly, it's like in America, that guy who was they found out with DNA now, he was wrongly lynched just because he was black. They said that he was the rapist, but he wasn't him. He was just the random black guy walking around the street. But during the race riot things, they didn't care. They just grabbed him. That was a story popular a couple weeks ago.
Unconscious racist. And he said unconsciously for a week and a half, that's how he felt. We have people who've been doing it and keeping it quiet for 20 years, but as long as you don't admit it, then we think everything is okay.
Yep.
Now, the big problem we have is this witch hunt is now going to stop the process of people now, as in Rwanda, keep talking about truth and reconciliation. Let's hold our hands up and say, I'm unconsciously racist. Don't blame me. This is what I've been wrongly told, which is what he's been said. And he's ashamed and embarrassed by it. So why is he being pilloried for it?
There's so much going on there, isn't there? I mean, it's important, as you say, to see the context of the whole thing, not just look at the 15-second soundbite, see the context of the whole thing, try and appreciate the nuance. And in a sense, that idea of sharing thoughtfully, very candidly, a stream of consciousness, as you say, if we want to ventilate sensitive issues around race, then people have to be given the opportunity to do that. Others will say, now hang on a minute, the 15-second soundbite is all that people actually will hear, and therefore, as a civilized society, it behoves people to react strongly.
That's not civilized, only
and
15
seconds. Twitter, weren't you? People saying, take away his OBE, boycott his films, etc.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's not civilized. The Twitter mob people, they're not civilized. If you have a Twitter and you do that mob shit on it, you are not civilized. That's my message to you. If you're part of that hashtag boycott, cold pursuit, or revenge, or whatever the heck you're going to call it, you're not civilized. You looked at the 15-second soundbite and you decide to believe the leftist media. You decide to believe the fake news that you're always bitching about. No. You're not civilized. You're garbage. You need to realize this so you can make yourself better. It's like Liam Neeson. He realized that he was racist for thinking that all black people are rapists, and he made himself better. Go by his example. Make yourself a better person.
Absolutely. So let's take down the statue of Winston Churchill, who is...
Yes. Rip down that Churchill statue.
He's a white supremacist. And let's talk about him talking about the superiority of the Aryan race.
John Barnes, I've just finished the excellent Andrew Roberts biography of Winston Churchill, where it's
Yeah, those things are changed to make the movies better.
Equivocal. Yeah. I mean, he held the views of his age, didn't he? Does it make him a less impressive?
And so did Liam Neeson.
Yep. Because if it was during the race riots, like I said, it was them versus us mentality. And everywhere, everything, they were saying, oh, the black groups are saying that all white people are evil and are horrible, and the white groups are saying all black people are evil and horrible. That shit goes on nowadays. You get fights of people in their own races. It's like the Puerto Ricans and the Cubans hate each other, where I live, at least. They're always arguing, and how dare you say I'm Hispanic? I'm Puerto Rican. Yeah, but you are Hispanic. That's like me complaining that, no, I'm not white, I'm Irish. Or I'm Italian, or I'm German. Or the melting pot that my DNA is. I have all this other crap in me. But I don't care about that. No, I'm an American citizen. I'm American. I don't care what shit. I don't give a fuck what the rest of that shit is. I just know it because my family did a DNA thing.
Neeson. And is Liam Neeson any different? Liam Neeson, he held the view of not only his age, the age that is actually happening now. So what's the difference? How is William Churchill a hero when he spoke about he believes
True, these lefty people need to take down their heroes if they're going to take down everybody else.
And when Liam Neeson comes out and he admits that he was wrong in what he did, whereas Winston Churchill would never admit he was wrong.
Churchill also upheld the thing that got Aiden Turing, the gay guy that created that computer that cracked the Nazi code, got him castrated and killed. Churchill was a horrible person, and the leftists need to admit this. Need to see that, because they're going to do it for everybody else. They need to do it for their own heroes.
Never, and he still, if he was alive now, he would.
It's like Jimmy Kimmel with his blackface. He can do blackface, but other people can't. Why? Because he hates Trump. He says Orange Man bad. He's one of the NPCs. But no one else can. Hell, those idiots were complaining about the soot in Chim Chimney from Mary Poppins because, oh, that's blackface. No, if you ever messed with a chimney, you would know that's not blackface. That shit just falls down on you. And I live in Florida, and I know that.
Still believe in the superiority of the Aryan race, but Liam Neeson, someone who admits that after a week and a half of thinking what he thought, he was wrong, which is fine as far as I'm concerned. We're now pillaring him.
Okay, but I suppose what we can't do, I mean, the Winston Churchill thing is a digression, isn't it? What we can't do is judge historical figures by the morality of today. That becomes problematic, doesn't it?
Well, exactly, but you can't judge what happened 30 years ago. You can't judge Liam Neeson 30 years ago in terms of the way he actually thought, because you're not saying this is what he felt last week. He's talking about a long time ago, and he said after a week, he was horrified and ashamed in terms of what he felt.
Well, one thing we can say with conviction, and you may accuse me of being a tad cynical for saying this,
yes,
but we are. As a sideline to this, we are talking about the film, so there's some global publicity that's been generated. You get the sense from listening to what he's saying, it's almost a stream of consciousness. He's been led to a place he didn't particularly plan on going to. But that's just my instinct. Maybe that's yours too. But the effect is to have publicity for the film.
Point of view. People are talking about Liam Neeson never working again. You think he's done this because he wants to promote a film? Absolutely not. We're now talking about Liam Neeson never working again, boycotting his films, and in terms of what the perception people are going to have of him, and you think he did this on purpose? Absolutely not. Not from his perspective, maybe from the perspective of filmmakers or that interview, the woman who gave that interview. And then to suggest, as I saw on television, the fact that when he gave his joke about, I've got a particular set of skills and I will find you, and we're having people, sensible, intelligent people now saying, oh, I really believe that he's trying to kill her, and that's supposed to be taken seriously. This is the influence that the media has in, if they want a particular perception, and this is what has been done to black people for hundreds of years, the perception we may have of a particular group of people, and the perception we now have of Liam Neeson, based on something, from my perspective, it's positive. And he should be applauded for saying, yes, I was an unconscious racist, and after a week I realized that I was horrified that I was. And people are going to be afraid of admitting it now because of what's happened to Liam Neeson.
For those who think I wasn't telling the truth about the, sorry for the echo, I'm in a different area now, about Mary Poppins being called racist now. Here's the Twitter mob, yes, Twitter again, going after it because of the chimney sweep thing. And anybody who has a chimney, well, then again, these morons that use Twitters probably don't have chimneys, or they pay somebody else to clean it, so they don't know if when you deal with dirt, you're going to get dirty. And, you know, soot from chimneys are black. Obviously, if a white person goes rolling around in soot, they're going to look black. Hell, you know what's next going to be labeled? 101 Dalmatians, because they put the puppies in soot, so they all look like black dogs instead of black and white dogs. I can just see that. Oh, they did blackface because now they're all black. Now they look like black labs instead of black and white dogs. I can just see that because the leftists are that fucking stupid, and they're gonna go for that. Just mark my words. Have a good and remember, don't trust the news. Look into things for yourself, and never go out of context.